Sorry about that break in the video. Ran out of space on my phone and had to delete a couple things. But we've now moved on to the main body and board. So this is the bottom. There's the straps for the battery Velcro holder, and it has these holes that line up with the underside of the pins, so that we don't make contact with those and short or ground anything out. It looks like you can have this either direction, depending on how you want the battery straps. I think I'm going to do it with the strap in the front, like so, just to kind of help counteract with the weight of the cable on the battery. The thickness isn't very thick. And it definitely is not pure carbon fiber. It's at that white edge. But the two together, it's probably at least 2.5 millimeters thick, so it's decent. And then there'll be a little gap in there because of the plastic that fits in between the two. There's the top. I'm not quite sure what all these holes are for, honestly. I would say airflow, but it's really not needed. Maybe possible add-ons or some other quad. Actually, look at it. Yeah, no clue. Now here's the main board. We have the pins for the transmitter. These little dip switches, I believe, have to do with this little tiny IR emitter. I think he was talking about that's for racing. You can set your quad up with a specific number, and it'll be read by some unknown device. It's kind of nice. It has the power connectors soldered directly onto the board pretty solidly as well. I'm hoping that these are all pre-set up color-wise, so that the counterclockwise and clockwise, you just plug them in and they work, and we don't have to play around with unplugging and swapping cables. Here's a little Molex connector for the LEDs. I wonder if you can switch these on and off remotely. That would be kind of cool. There are a couple jumper solder pads here. This one says video on the left, ground in the middle, 3.3 volts on the right. It says for camera. However, I believe one of these is for the camera and gimbal, and one of these is for the transmitter. There's another set of pads here. This says what looks like 3S. I'm not quite sure what it says. 3S, video and ground. And it says for 5.8 gig transmitter. So I'm going to assume that this one is to go to the transmitter. This one's to go to the camera. But it's kind of nice you've got these other jumper pads if you want to ever add a different type of camera or transmitter that doesn't use these little connectors. It's labeled motor 2, motor 4, motor 3, motor 1. It seems built fairly well. A couple little messy solder connections here and there, but overall it's a pretty nice looking board. Looks like you could grab power from the bottom side of those pads pretty easily as well if you wanted to keep the wiring clean. So here's the battery connector. It's kind of interesting. It's got this grid pattern on the back that's mostly unused. I'm assuming that's probably the positive side. Oh, it's the negative side. Maybe it's just so you can add additional grounds if you need them. It is soldered on there pretty sturdy. It's I kind of pushed and prodded on it a little bit. It's on there. I'm gonna epoxy that though, just to be safe, because it's just a little bit of solder that's holding that thing on there. I'll probably put a little epoxy across here, and then probably a little across this line as well, just to make sure it's solid. Of course, it came with props. I bought a bunch of extra, and I ordered them. I also needed them for a trifecta build I've got that I just finished up. But here we go, is everything as it comes out of the box. I probably won't do a build video just because I don't have any way to hold my camera while building. Possibly maybe I can do a time-lapse thing. We'll see. But I will definitely put more once it's built. Thanks for watching.